Got a message from him. He says hi. He doesn't actually say hi. He just tells me where to download the links.
And
Downloading
downloading the links apparently is what we're getting on the first part of the recording. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's only taken me, I'm not sure how many recordings it's been at this point, but I think I've got the low audio issues taken care of, so you should be able to hear me more. Not that anyone actually wants to hear me any more than they already do. So if you're one of those crazy people who does, well, I apologize to you ahead of time. Welcome back, everybody. This is issue 7, if I'm correct. Again, title shall be reserved for the end, because I don't feel like spoiling things for the people who have yet to play this. So that would be our wonderful gang of misfits here. Say hi, misfits.
What? Hey! Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Alrighty, so last time we were here, at least one of our faithful companions here suffered from insomnia and decided to go up to the roof for a nighttime stroll to do who knows what. While there, caught the glimpse of what can only be described as battlesuit brake lights, or rear view lights, or whatever you want to call them, on a battlesuit that was flying away from the tower. Everybody else got woken up. Three people got woken up. Spectre went back to bed because, well, Spectre's the only reasonable person here, apparently.
Oh, sure. Yes.
So you follow that out to the docks area where the initial explosion happened a couple days ago. While looking around through the rubble, a giant fish/tentacle/aquatic horror monster appeared from the harbor and started attacking you. In what was to be considered a long, arduous fight where not a whole lot happened except tentacles. Lots and lots of tentacles. It wasn't until dawn broke that the giant aquatic monster turned back into a 12-year-old boy who had really no memory of what the heck actually happened. He did mention that he had had dreams of like water and things like that, and they had started around the same time as the explosion. But aside from that, not a whole lot. From there, you guys ended up back at the tower, brought the kid with you, met somebody who Thomas referred to as his nephew. The two kids went back up to the penthouse and were doing whatever kids do. You guys had a meeting in the conference room where you got another note labeled initialed KF, basically saying, hey, back the heck off again. Note's going to pop up right here again. There we go. And there was a response to the note with the initials TBK, with another response from KF. And we ended last time with the cryptic tease of, we all have secrets, maybe this should be the point where we explain them all. So we are still currently sitting in that conference room with that message hanging on the air.
I just kind of look around the table at Anton, Lucia, and Spectre, and just nod my head at him.
So, I mean, assuming that this guy's listening in, because, well, at this point, why wouldn't we assume that? He can start with his secrets. I'm quite okay with that.
I don't quite think that's how it works, Spectre.
I don't really care. I mean, I'm not intimidated by this guy. He can sit here and threaten all he wants. I'm not hiding anything from anyone here, so... anyone else got secrets? Because, yeah, we're not going to get anywhere otherwise.
Actually, I guess I never really told any of you. My real name is
Oh,
Brandon.
but before you have a chance to say what that is,
Okay.
there is a loud megaphone-style booming voice that you can all very clearly hear. Anton Wolf, we know you're in there. You're in possession of stolen property. Come out now and relinquish it, or we will be forced to take it from you.
Oh, this isn't good.
I just gotta look over him and just say, care to explain?
First, do we know if that is police bullhorn or if it's coming from, like, speakers throughout the building?
That is being projected from something, not inside the building, but you're pretty certain with how high up you are and how clear it is that it's probably not police.
Do I hear any blades outside?
No, you hear no chopper blades.
Wonder who's found me this time.
Richard looks up and is this time?
Yeah, this time.
I just kind of look at them and go, well, boys, it looks like introductions have to wait. We should try to get moving.
Okay.
So I just kind of stand up and ready my equipment again and head to the door.
Follow suit, check my armor over, make sure that everything's fully operational, and get my hammer ready.
What are Lutra and Spectre doing?
Ready for Spectre to move.
Spectre is now using a different button for push to talk.
Oh.
So Spectre was telling everybody what he was doing, but only he could hear it.
Absolutely. Spectre, when the others get up, he sits back in the seat, kicks his feet up on the table, and just tugs on the cuffs of the sleeves of his cloak, and says, "I'll be out in a few minutes."
Richard looks awkwardly over at Spectre, then over towards when everybody else walking out, and back to Spectre, and then looks at everybody else and says, wait for me! And run after everybody else.
Someone let Mr. Casey know we've got visitors, and they're not friendly.
He knows he's in the room with you.
Oh, he's in the room with us.
Mr. Casey, Anton wanted me to tell you that there are people here, and
I know! I heard them!
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna grab Lutra by the back of the neck and carry him out.
I just kind of shake my head and keep walking at the two of them.
Once the three of you go out of the room, before anything else can happen, Casey looks over at Spectre and go, "Remind me to have him checked when they get back."
I don't think you want to know the results.
Probably not. But you stayed here for a reason. Why?
Because I'm not sure anything's out there.
Fair enough. I'm gonna look and see if I can figure out who did this hacking job.
Sounds good. I'm sure I'll hear if the others find something. I mean, I'll hear the otter if the others find something.
Also, if you could please take away the Swedish fish. I'm not sure how we found those, but just hide them.
No, because then that's a mess that I'll have to clean up. No, thank you.
And with that, he walks out, and you're pretty sure he's going to his office to utilize the computers in there. So we will shift to the party heading outside. Where are you headed outside? Roof, floor? What are you doing?
Along for the ride at this point, so I have no idea.
I'm headed towards the roof.
I just kind of follow behind him since he kind of knows what he's doing or what he's up against anyway. Yeah, I kind of just look at him and go, what are we fighting here?
Alright, well, to answer your question, when you approach and get on the roof, it's a pretty easy answer for you. I don't have a flat roof tile set up, because I didn't even think of that, forgive me. So we're just going to use this and pretend that the grid area here is the roof.
That works.
Do I have one? Nope. And standing there on the roof. Now, keep in mind, it's a big building, so it's a fairly decent-sized roof. So, combat is potentially okay. Come on. Okay, why aren't you dragging here? There we go.
Huh.
Those two that deleted, forget those.
Can't. Oh no, it's fembots.
It is not femputer, no. So when you get onto the roof, there is the gentleman who you're pretty sure was doing the talking, because he's the one that looks different from the other 5 who are standing behind him, all very much uniform in army-ish soldier formation.
I kind of just look over at Lucha and just say, just remember, it's a
Can't
long
see
way
me.
down, my friend. Well,
What did you say?
I kind of know which direction you were.
Fair enough.
Yes. Probably don't need any auto rockets.
Oh, so as soon as you guys walk out, the one who was speaking speaks again. Oh, how cute. You have friends. Do they know what you've been a part of?
Cut to the chase. What do you want from me besides my suit?
You were in possession of stolen property. I'm simply here to reclaim it.
You're gonna have to take it for my cold dead body.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Really?
Yes.
At this point, I kind of just go to my communicator and just tell Spectre we have an issue up here and we could really use his assistance.
And y'all can roll initiative at that point, too.
Is it bad that every week I have to remember where initiative is?
Nope.
Nope.
Well, my rolls aren't par as normal.
So a 3 somewhere?
4.
Hey! Big money.
Just getting this set up here for a second, and we'll be on initiative here momentarily.
Can you put the labels on them, the colored dots?
I will as soon as I get everything taken care of. Alrighty. Alrighty, so now that we've got that all taken care of, Spectre would be first on the initiative order, but he is doing nothing on his turn. Which will move it to, well, as you can see on the chart, number 10's turn.
You're cutting in and out.
Yeah, Discord's being Discord.
To the big surprise of nobody, Discord is being Discord. As I said, or as I thought I was saying, Spectre is doing nothing on his turn, which makes it number 10's turn. And, well, since you said come take it off your cold, dead body, that's exactly what he's going to do. He is flying in, charging at you, and attacking you with Repulsor Strike. I think he hits. So yeah, Anton, I'm going to need a toughness save. Actually, how many, what's your dodge? 8? Or your parry, excuse me, 8?
Alright.
Anton?
I'm speaking on mute. Dodge and parry are both 8.
Alright, so 18, so 38 actually hits you by all 3 tiers, which is a multi-attack strike, so I'm going to need a DC 30 toughness save from you.
Oh, I'm screwed.
He just comes in and just peppers you with Repulsor Strike.
Where
Uh,
is yes.
Question. Hero points. Did we reset those?
Everybody has 1, yes, it's all been... Well, technically, now, at this point, everyone has 1 except for Anton, who has 2, because this is definitely triggering a complication, so Anton will have 2. And Anton will take a bruise and a daze.
Ow.
But it's your turn.
I still have the otter in my hand, right?
No, he
Try
dropped
to
off.
let me go!
I dropped him. Okay. I was going to throw the otter.
Hey!
Let's see. There's no walls up here, really. We're kind of on a flat roof. So, let's just smack it back with a hammer. Oh, dear Lord. This is bad.
You do have a hero point to reroll.
Oh, God. Fine, I'll use a hero point to reroll.
Alrighty, go ahead and re-roll.
At least it wasn't a 1.
Is that a... That's a...
It's a 10.
Well,
That's a
no,
10.
10 is good because on a hero point reroll, if you roll a 1 through a 10, you actually add 10 to the result. So that's technically a 30.
Oh, okay.
That was like the best outcome, I think.
Yes. No, best outcome would still have been a crit, but yeah,
It's
that will
20, yeah.
definitely hit. And this is bad for him. Well, not necessarily bad for him, but he's more dodgy than toughness based.
Yeah. He's the quick dodgy type and not the take it to the face type.
Yep.
And he's gonna take this one to the face.
He'll take a bruise in a daze.
Oh.
I'm just like picturing like Muhammad Ali and
George Foreman.
yeah, just like slugging each other in the face at the same time.
I'm gonna yell over to Lutra. Hey, these are. You might want to think about it.
Think
And,
about what?
Well, with that, Lutra can think about it because it's Lutra's turn.
Lucha thinks about it. It is a 2-letter word. Beginning with an I and ending with a T. There, I've thought about it, and I'm going to attack now.
What are you
Actually, I don't
attacking?
I don't know, actually, now that I've said that. Is everybody in like, body armor suits?
They all look like they're in battle suits.
Okay, so this one that Anton attacked, what did we call him again?
We didn't call him anything, but for the viewers at home, they can see the name. It is number 10.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought I heard you say that. So
Called him Speed Bump.
can I just try to climb on top of this guy's shoulders and rip his helmet off?
You can try.
Cool. What is that?
That would be, well, you have fast grab, so you can either roll an attack
Listen.
check and then grab afterwards, or you can just try and grab.
He's also invisible, so would that give him an advantage as well?
Normally it would, but this guy has scanners, which counter call visual concealment, so he's not going to be considered vulnerable for Lutra's attack.
You're not really invisible.
I don't know that. Is the thing.
No, Lutra does not know this.
So I'm going to quote unquote sneak up behind him, like all sneak. I think. Yes. Actually, you know, I wonder if Otter Tail would make more sense. Trip into the ground and then grab him? Would that make more sense?
Is your tail grasping?
That's tripping.
Now, can you grab things with your tail?
Is that a special thing? We
Uh,
made that a tripping attack, but you told me at the beginning of this that you were going to declare that to be unarmed combat.
right, no, it's unarmed combat. I'm asking if you can grab with your tail, only because you're attacking with it, so that would be what you would be grabbing with. Is it prehensile?
No.
Then you can attack with it, but you cannot grab it because it does not have the capabilities of grabbing. Unfortunately, the 17 misses.
Oh, hold on. What's that extra effort stuff again?
Extra effort means you can push yourself. The first time you use extra effort, you can use it to either gain an extra +2 on a skill check, modify your arrays a little bit, or take another action. You would be, after you take the action, you would gain a status, a tier of fatigue.
Yeah.
Fatigue just cuts your speed by 1. Exhausted cuts your speed by 1 and gives you -2 to all rolls. And asleep, or incapacitated, well, you know what that one does.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and do extra effort and try attacking again.
Alrighty, just be aware that unlike with a hero point, extra effort does not provide the extra bonus with the roll.
No, I know that. I just want to try attacking this. Okay, where are you? There. Okay.
That one will hit him. He will take another bruise.
Cool, Spike. Grab it.
Well, he has to... what is your strength?
7.
Alright, you have fast grab. You're not the size category, so he has to beat a 17 on the initial grab check before your improved grab, improved hold will take hold, which makes it a 22. So he can resist it with either dodge or strength. He's definitely going to resist with dodge. Yeah, you bite him, but he's wearing metal armor. You really can't sink your teeth into it.
So, well, before we end my turn,
Yeah.
I am going to go ahead and spend that hero point.
Okay.
As well, Spectre's not up here. Well, he's going to miss out.
Oh no,
Actually,
he's up here. You just can't see him.
Oh, okay, well, then that's fine then.
But you
I'm
cannot
going
use
to-
Inspire because you've already used the move action and 2 standard actions. So you need one of those 3 to do so.
Oh, I thought I had to use a standard action and then just use a hero point.
Nope, it does take up one of the actions to do that.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Nope, that's fine.
Wait, when did I use my second move action?
You moved. You only get one.
Grabbing, right.
Yeah, you know you move. You move to get him.
Yeah.
And that you've already. So your move action was moving. So if you have move by attack, you can continue moving. Your first standard action
Right.
was to attack. You missed. You extra effort to get a second standard action. You attacked. You hit.
Yeah, gotcha.
But
What move by action was it? I could just. Oh, it's a continuation of the move?
yeah, it's a continuation of the move. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and with that, it is Malkir's turn. I believe we have reached the point in our playthrough here where we have hit the bathroom break thing here. And with that, I believe we've got a Malkir back. So it is going to be Malkir's turn as soon as we get a Malkir back.
Okay, can you just give me the cliff notes of what happened to the Outrun? I'm step away for a second.
He missed, he hit, he bit, he couldn't grab.
But I gave him bruise.
So yes, there are some teeth marks in his armor. It looks like he's being trying to be opened up like a sardine can.
Discorded again.
Of course, discorded again. So he hit, he missed, he extra efforted, he hit, he did a little damage, couldn't grab because he can't really sink your teeth too well into metal armor, but there are some teeth marks, so that's what's happening.
Alright. So, at this point, I'm going to go, like, towards this side of him.
Yeah, bonus points for the outdoor windy sound effects there.
Indeed.
Oh, sorry. New England hot heat.
I live in the same New England area, so I hear you.
I'm not around yet. It shouldn't be windy.
You want me to turn the fan off? Is that distracting?
No, I think it's hilarious, actually.
Realism.
Unfortunately, the 17 is not going to hit this guy. Alrighty, it is now time for all of our other battle suits to go. So purple's going to fly up here, and yes, I'm going to refer to them by their colors. And their role is to get the armor off of Anton, so purple is attacking Anton with repulsor beams. I know a 17 misses. I know a 17 misses.
Yeah. It's just so I make sure I'm looking at the right thing.
Green's going to do the same thing. That one is going to hit, so Anton, I need a DC 25 toughness save, please, as you get hit with a beam blast from this second battle suit. And you will go ahead and soak that.
There's 2 down, 3 down.
Red's turn. Now, unfortunately, Red does not know Lutra's in the way here. So the line of sight here is Red is firing at Anton, but it's actually could potentially hit Lutra. So this attack roll is technically at Lutra. If it misses Lutra, then it will be against Anton because of the way the line of sight works. So I know a 19 misses Lutra.
Yeah,
But it will hit Anton, so I'll need another toughness save. Hey, you keep making them.
Gonna have to for this fight.
So, just out of curiosity, where's the ledge? Like,
Hold
we're
on.
just not worrying about it.
It's the green line.
That works.
Excellent drawing skills.
I approve. He could have used the square tool and decided to appreciate that.
Yeah, just showing his great drawing skills.
Yep, blue is attacking as well, and again, because of the way the line of sight works, they don't have the same scanner technology, so this is initially on Lutra first, then Anton. That's going to miss both of them, so it doesn't matter. That blows a chunk off the roof. Actually,
Hey!
real quick with that, Spectre, give me a number on a d20, please.
Oh, no. Oh, that would be funny.
13.
Okay, it's not a 13, nothing happens. And Orange's turn. Orange is going to fire at Anton. I know you're surprised at this. That will hit. I'll need another toughness save from Anton, please.
Whatever.
All of these beams just bounce off of Anton's armor like nothing is happening.
So, I'm standing in the middle of all of this, apparently. Just watching these beams of laser beam just bounce off Anton's body or missing or
Yes.
whatever. It's just like,
And with that, it is the elusive Spectre's turn.
Wrong push to talk button.
Nah.
No.
Okay, none of you see this coming. So, all you see is something. Well, those of you who know your partners kind of know what this is. But a gust of something hits green and just shatters it, completely obliterates it. Like, there are pieces of battle suit everywhere.
Ah!
That works.
And that is the minion rule. If a minion fails to save, they get the worst results.
These count as minions, right?
The other ones do. The one that just shattered into a bunch of pieces definitely does.
Okay, so I get something for that.
But it is number 10's turn. He is taking to the air. Like, he's kicking on the boot jets, and he is taking to the air. So he is now probably a good 100 feet up in the air. And he's going to rain down repulsor blasts on guess who? Nope. Anton, DC 25 toughness save, please.
I felt last week.
Yeah, I do have a question for you.
I mean,
On the-
oh, just missed it.
Yeah.
On the, I have takedown 2, so I get a free extra attack from that minion, correct? It's my turn?
If you take out a minion, you can move on to the next
Oh,
minion.
if I do it?
Yeah, it's if you do it.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. That works.
I had the same thing, so I was gonna ask that same question.
Yep. Takedown 1 is if they're within your reach, you can do it. Takedown 2 is you can move as much as your movement and take down as many minions as you possibly can.
Okay. Alright, so, I just missed this by 1 tier, right? So I'm just taking a bruise.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Did you already have
That's
a bruise on you?
I had a daze and a bruise.
Alright, so actually then, because a bruise takes -1 off of it, so actually you would miss that by 2 tiers, so it would be just another bruise in a daze. So yeah, still just a bruise.
Okay.
But it is now his turn, and as I said, he's about 100 feet up in the air.
It's now my turn, right?
It is.
Alrighty then. And so looking at this, so we have 5, right? Or there's 6 here.
6 what?
How many enemies? We're talking 5 or 6 here.
There are 5 now.
They're 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Oh, that's
just
right.
copied one.
Hold on. Okay, so green's in the air, and then the normal, or no,
Green's dead.
the green's dead. The guy who was attacking me first is up in the air now.
Correct, about 100 feet.
All right. I'm going to attack red.
Alrighty, you're gonna fly over to red, or
Yeah. Oh, warp.
warp over
Right
to
into his
red.
face.
Alrighty, so roll the hit. Unfortunately, you miss red with that.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. I'll roll it. I'll use my other hero point.
And then for those of you who are watching on the stream, I apologize for the chat window shrinking there. I had to move it for some things, and it got some shrinking happening. But I promise you, it is simply because of operator error and not because of the cold weather. And real quick,
Alright, so the 27.
27 is going to hit. Because you guys didn't notice, because this is the first time you've dealt with minions, I feel the need to explain a rule when it comes to minions. If you are a non-minion, which you all are, attacking a minion, you can choose to take 10 on your attack roll. So say you have a plus 10 to hit, 10 plus 10, you would get a 20 on on a minion. You may choose to do that if you want to. Since this is the first time we fought minions, there was no need to bring that rule up until now.
Okay, so how exactly does that work? So like I rolled a 12.
Right, so
I could say add 10 to that.
No. If you roll the die, if you roll, you're just going to get your die roll. But if you want to try and guarantee your hit, you can just take 10 on it, and it's the equivalent of rolling a 10 on the dice. So say you have a plus 10 to hit. Yeah, so that's me. But so 27.
Oh, okay.
Great, yeah. Which I mean, you say I take 10 and my result is a 19.
Right, so the minion, red explodes.
Ooh, red's gone. All right. And I will, while I'm sitting here, I'll take a swing at blue.
All right, do you want to
So
roll?
what do I need? What do I need? What is my
What's your...
set to my hit?
Yeah, well, so it's, I should think you have a plus 10 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have a plus 10 to
yeah.
hit, so you can hit with a 20.
And what do I need to hit this guy?
You won't know until you... I can't... You won't know until...
That's right. Oh, that's
Nope.
right. Okay. Yeah, I'll take the 10.
Well, 20's enough to hit him. Blue explodes.
Well, I'll take yellow while I'm at it. And we'll do the same. We'll take the 10.
Orange survives.
Hang orange.
And technically, you'd be right there. Lutra's up.
I'm gonna attack purple. I'll also take the 10. See what happens.
19 will not hit.
I didn't think so. Okay.
Because tie goes to the defender. Oh, no, tie does not go to the
Tie-
defender.
no.
Yeah, tie goes
That's
to the attacker. Their base is 20.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the tie goes to the attacker. Yeah.
It's a waste of turn. All right.
Malkir's up.
Okay, I'm going to use my hero point and attempt to use my X-ray laser scope to shoot the flying dude in the foot where the propellant is coming from to try and get him out of the air.
Okay, that's basically turning it into a nullify effect. What's the base rank of your laser rifle? The damage rank?
8.
Okay, so if you hit, I'll have to make a DC 8. Alright, yeah. You would make a roll 1d20 plus 8. If you beat the rank of the flight power, you will negate it. So roll to hit.
Okay, so do I just roll my laser
roll
scope,
your
right?
laser rifle to hit normally? Yes. You crit. So in that case, it's going to. So that's a good thing. In that case, it's going to be a d20 plus 13 on your nullify roll.
It's a what?
Roll a d20, which would be normally plus 8, which is the rank of your ability. Because you got the crit, you get to add 5 to it. So roll a d20 plus 13.
Okay, and how do I do that? I'm sorry.
Slash roll space 1d20 plus 13. Alright, 26. 26 definitely beats the rank of his flight power. So he is going to come crashing down because with the crit, I'm just going to say you get both boot jets there. And the impervious toughness of his battle suit will soak the fall damage. But yeah, he definitely comes crashing down. Really quick, Malkir, give me a dodge check, please. All right, he doesn't land on top of you.
Yay!
It is Orange's turn.
Let me guess.
No,
He's
actually.
swinging at me.
Kind of. He's moving here, and because of the way you guys are lined up, he's using Repulsor Ray, which is actually a line area damage. He's going to hit Anton and Malkir, because Malkir also just shot its boss out of the sky. So I'm going to need dodge checks, DC 20, from both Malkir and Anton. Alrighty, so with those, Malkir beat it by 2 tiers. So you're going to have to go ahead and make a DC 13 toughness check. Anton will have to make the full DC 25.
I just have to roll my toughness, right?
Yep.
Yes. You are both fine. Yeah. Anton just absolutely is just like, y'all suck, you know
Just
that,
steps
right?
into it.
Yeah.
He just steps into it like Roger Dorn.
Did you speak a Major League reference?
Yes, I did, sir.
Yes, I love that movie. So wait a second. If you're referencing the fact that you guys are the Indians, does that make you what's the line from the 2 Japanese guys? They're still bleepy.
Yes.
Anyway, it's Purple's turn. Since you missed, it's going after Anton.
I'm so terrified.
He's literally soaked everything.
I
you've shot at him.
know. Give me another 25.
I mean, I guess he has 2 bruises, so. Oh well.
No, he'll take another bruise because this roll doesn't account it, so he'll have a 3rd bruise now.
Oh.
It is Spectre's turn.
At this point, I'm still invisible to everyone, but I'm actually going to fly over number 10 and basically launch one of my air blasts right down at him since he's on the ground.
Alrighty. You will get a bonus on your end because he's technically considered prone. Not that it matters, you hit him either way. You don't quite cave him in, but he's definitely feeling it.
Get wrecked.
It is number 10's turn now. And on his turn, he doesn't even bother standing up. For those the 2 of you who are there close enough to watch, basically one of those little like things on his wrist flips up. He punches in a couple of numbers. He basically, you can see like sparks flying, and he basically what's happening is he's triggering a burnout teleport. He's teleporting away. The 2 battle suits who are there are both going to explode. At the end of the resolution of these explosion damage, everyone's going to get a hero point for me fiating his escape. But I'm going to need dodge checks, 2 dodge checks apiece, DC 20 from Lutra and Anton. Alrighty. Does Lutra, do you have evasion?
So well.
What's that?
Do you have the advantage evasion?
Yes, actually 2.
Okay, so
I
you're
do
gonna
as well.
so you add +5 to all of those rolls.
Oh,
I have evasion.
Yeah, whether you have evasion 1 or evasion 2, the 12 and
It's still
13,
5.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm still getting hit.
Yeah, Anton's gonna need to make me 2 DC 25s. Lutra's gonna need to make me a DC 20 and a DC 13 toughness save.
oh. Okay.
This isn't good.
So what's going to happen is Anton's going to end up taking a bunch of bruises. It's going to be 1, 2. Anton's going to take 4 bruises. And Lutra's going to end up taking no bruises. So yeah, the explosions wreck you pretty well. But that's and there's a little bit of a dent in the top of the roof now.
Well, at least the fight's over.
Does anyone see any labels or manufacturing information on these things? Anything left over?
Well, we'd have scraps of metal and stuff, I would assume, so we can do perception and check them out.
Perception would not allow you to check them out. You would have to do investigation. Perception would just let you know where they are, but it's pretty easy to find the giant scraps of metal that were, kerfluid everywhere. I agree with wherever that was. Of the 3 of you doing investigation, Anton did not need to roll very high to know exactly what these things were. He's a little on the confused side as to why there are no human remains of the things that got kerfluid, because he's never seen the non-remains before, or the non-human piloted ones before. But he knows for a fact, 100%, all of these are Gendyne designed battlesuits, and the one that you faced off, Gendyne had a project that was designing battlesuits based off of the Avengers. You know for a fact that number 10, or not necessarily number 10, but the one you fought was definitely an Iron Man inspired battlesuit.
So you're breaking up pretty bad there.
Alright, what part of that did you hear?
Not much of it, actually.
Okay, fair enough. So, Anton pretty much knew for a fact these are all from Gendyne. The one you faced off with who was doing the talking, you knew that while you were still there was talks of a battlesuit program based off of the Avengers. So based off of that, you're 99% sure that you just faced off against the Iron Man style battlesuit. What you are a little confused at is to why you don't see any bits and pieces of human in the battlesuits that were exploded, because there was never any discussion about unmanned suits.
Okay. So that's what they were working on. Wonder what other gadgets these Gendyne has up their sleeves now.
So, Lucha becomes visible again and looks around and says, "Okay, what was all that?"
I kind of just look at Anton and go, was it possible these guys were the ones I saw the other night?
It's possible.
Go ahead and give me an insight check, Malkir.
Son of a...
You have no idea. As far as you know, it's a battle suit. Yeah, it could. You're pretty much convinced these are the guys you saw last night. Also, for those of you at home who have started to play the Mutants and Masterminds drinking game, Malkier rolled a 1, so take a drink. For the record, if you're still alive at this point after playing the drinking game, good for you. You should probably go to meetings.
I was gonna say, trying to kill our chat.
Right. Malkier uses a hero point to reroll his insight check.
I used my hero point to knock
That's right.
this guy out.
Keep in
we
mind,
all got one.
everyone got one after Fia had the escape. So Anton has 2 again, Lutra has 2, Malkier has 1, and Spectre has 2.
Extra effort, that insight check, sir.
There's really no need to. But that is all the information you can attain from the bits and pieces of Robot.
I don't think that's the last we'll see of them.
Care, tell us what they were after other than your suit. Where'd you get that from anyway?
My guess would be Gendine.
Smartass.
He's correct. Both of you are correct. He's a smartass, and it's from Gendine.
I have a question.
Okay.
What's Gendine?
Oh boy. Let's go. We'll see if Mr. Casey has some documentation we can use to go over the last 20 plus years.
Okay.
I'm gonna start heading in to the building.
I kind of just look at Lutra and go, careful, he might pick you up again.
Oh, by the way, you were saying something before we started that. What before we were so rudely interrupted by those punks.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, my name. Yes.
Let's wait until we get inside, guys.
Oh, okay.
I just kind of like walk by them and go down into the conference room again.
Lucia has inside.
Before you guys can even make it into the conference room, you're met with an absolutely angry, panicked. You're not quite sure what emotions to qualify it under, but Thomas is angry, pissed, the whole 9 yards. And he's holding a note in his hand, and you hear him sputtering, and I can't repeat the words he's saying because we have people watching, but suffice to say, it's bleepity bleep 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 bleeping Spencer, bleepity bleep 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 bleeping Spencer, can't bleepity bleep bleep, just going to town. The only thing you guys can make sense of that isn't swear is the name Spencer over and over and over again.
So basically it's me after I roll one.
At that point, Spectre just walks up to him and just holds his hand out.
He hands you the note.
Well, what's the note say?
You should all be visible to all of you now.
So, we're dealing with an ace here?
dealing with...
Spectre just continues to stare at Casey until he gets an answer.
We're dealing with is a traitor.
Obviously, we're dealing with someone who's trying to bury you.
Yeah. All of this. I don't know why. I don't know why, but apparently this is what you saw earlier, the hacking, and now this. Spencer.
At this point, Banner to just go punch the guy.
Punch who?
Spencer.
He's gone, and that's not the only thing that's gone. We gotta find where he went. He took the boys.
Lucha's eyes wide open. Like, wait, what?
He's the only other person who could have access to it. He's the only other one who knows how to get into the penthouse. He has them, both of them.
Lucha immediately runs up to the room they were in.
And we have no clue where he is.
No.
Do you have any thoughts of where he could be?
I mean, I background check everyone who I hire. There is nothing in Spencer's background that would say he would do something like this, he had any reason to do anything like this, that he has a place to store them. So I don't know.
I call Lutra over. Or I yell for Lutra to come down from the penthouse suite.
Lutra has... Okay. Lutra comes back, sadly.
Hey, how are you with extractions?
Huh? I don't know what that word means. Well, I mean, I know what the word means. I don't know what you mean by that word. I had a tooth extracted once. It didn't feel nice.
This Spencer? And
Hold on, you cut out. What did you say?
we may have to find this Spencer and get the kids out of harm's way while we go directly at him, because he's going to use them as hostages. So we need to make sure they're safe and that he's taken care of.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we should rescue them.
What about you, Anton? Malkir?
We got the kids in this mess. I think we know what we have to do at this point.
Definitely.
Now we have to figure out where
we're going.
Hey, you're mostly animal. Can you smell them or something?
I was gonna go check, but then I got rudely called back down here. Go! I'll go
Sorry
check.
about that.
Lucha scampers off.
Alrighty. Tracking is a perception check.
Well, that's a good thing.
Okay. The only reason you are able to remember the scent of the kids is because one of them still had that sort of briny, fishy, crackety smell. And the smell leads right out the window.
Huh. I don't think I could track out a window.
No, but there had to be some propulsion device to get out the window.
Lucha looks,
I wonder.
sticks his head out the window, looks around.
It's a straight line shot from out the window. Or, as far as you can tell, they left on a going straight line. You're not sure where it goes after it leaves the window, though.
Right. Had it been one of those battlesuit things, I guess. Is the window broken, or is it just open?
It was open from the inside.
That's interesting. How did that happen?
Somebody unlocked it and opened it.
Guess what? Like, kids probably wouldn't have done that.
Thomas told you that Spencer knew how to get into the penthouse.
Right, okay. I guess I was assuming he just flew through the window. Guessing this place would have better security.
The whole building, you know the security at this building is supposedly top notch. The only reason Spencer doesn't do all the stuff that he does is because he helped program the security.
Yeah, so.
That and it's been hacked before.
Probably by the same guy.
And I'm guessing there's no way to track back to, like, the big guy that came in here and took these kids, is to, like, figure out how he got in the building.
Probably not.
Guess it doesn't even matter.
Roll me either an investigation check or an insight check.
One is a plus 10, the other is a plus 2.
All right. So, the insight check. What you can pretty much surmise is that the battlesuits you fought on the roof didn't seem to be interested in anything more than Anton's battlesuit. So, you are pretty certain that it was none of them who did this.
No.
You also know that the window was open from the inside, and that you guys know how to get in here because it was left open, but the only two people who really knew how to get in here, or three technically, would have been Ben, Thomas, and as he said, Spencer.
I just kind of look over at Casey and I just ask him if he was aware of any other like background connections that Spencer may have had before he started, or if he knew any like debt that he was in.
None. I thoroughly background check everybody who I hire here because of what we do and what we work with, knowing that in the wrong hands what it can do, and there was absolutely nothing that popped. I can show you the file.
It wouldn't hurt to have a look at it. Maybe we'll see something you missed.
Yeah.
He'll go and get the file. I mean, you can follow him into his office. He pulls out a filing cabinet. It's all full of different. For someone who is as technologically savvy as him, it's a paper file. So just pulls over D. Dalton. Yes, phone. I do have it memorized, but thank you for asking me. Paper file, pulls out, it's a manila file labeled Dalton, Spencer, and he hands it to you.
I just look at Spencer, at Spectre, and like the other techie guy. I just pass it over to him.
Alrighty, reading through the file. You don't need the full like birth date. You don't care about any of that stuff. The key points here that you see as you're reading through. Multiple. Let me rephrase that. I am just in my head. Only 23 years old, so ridiculously smart. 3 different degrees: biomedical engineering, chemical engineering, and oh god, what the heck is the third one? I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, just biology. So 3 different degrees, age 23, super ridiculously smart. Graduated Stanford at age 19. Lost both of his parents in a car crash when he was 16. And as you are reading that, Spectre, specifically, give me an insight check. Something about the car accident, you're not quite sure what, but something about that just seems a little on the weird side to you. But you can't quite put your finger on what about it bothers you.
I just stare, like, puzzled for a minute.
What is it? Something? You catch something?
Pull out my phone.
My favorite part about this is since you guys watching at home, you get to see my chat, so you get to see what's happening right now.
So, car crash. 2 parents die, orphan a 16-year-old boy. Why does this feel vaguely familiar? Why does this sound vaguely familiar? Date was in 2001. Only have is Spencer. Okay, I'll be awaiting it.
So we have this. From above.
And real quick, you know from the birth date, it's actually a 2002, not a 2001.
Okay, 2002.
Yep. I say the birth date's irrelevant, but no, the birthday actually is relevant there.
I just called my friend because this car accident, there's just something off. Something about this car accident, and I just can't place it right now. So, information like this that he can quickly, hopefully, get us answers that may lead us in some direction here.
Your phone starts ringing.
That was fast.
Hello?
It's the gentleman you called earlier, and I'll give you the response here in a second.
Why did they say car crash then?
And
Do you have his prior residence?
Ooh, do we get to go smash up another house?
And for those of you who are sitting here on the half of the conversation, only hearing the Spectre side of it, sorry? But yeah, to answer that last question, you'll get an address. I'm not going to bother looking one up because it's generic Los Angeles suburb. Culver City, if we're going to be specific, but...
Well, shall we pay the former residents a visit? Anyone? That went so well last time.
Concern.
With that new information, though, go ahead and, Spectre, give me another insight check. Well, with that, since it's still pretty fresh, remember you only need a 10. The reason that that date that was given to you is familiar is you now remember that it was the date of a very specific airport shooting.
So, guys, Spencer's just vengeful. And
Vengeful? What do you mean vengeful?
beyond. Well, when you worked with him, did he show particular interest in, not necessarily for the intention of what you were developing, but did he show interest in anything that could cause mass destruction?
I mean, the nanotech, yeah, but not in so much as anything overt. Vengeful. Oh, God.
Do you remember an airport shooting LADX
2002.
out 6 years ago.
Of course I do. It's my fault it happened.
Do you remember how many casualties there were?
2. Plus the
A
shooter.
male and a female.
Yep.
Who happened to be Mr. and Mrs. Dio, Spencer's parents.
But why would I did a background check. Usually if you're going to change your last name, it's going to come up. The fact that I could find no records on it.
You could find no records on a child prodigy extremely adept with technology.
No, I found all of these records, but there are records of Spencer Dalton going back 23 years. There's no record of a name change. There was a record of a car accident. That's about it. The level of depth and craziness that someone has to go to backstop somebody like that is immeasurable. I don't think we're dealing with just one person here.
Well, think all you want, but I can't help but feeling that these two incidents coincide. A Spencer that you hired had both of his parents die on July 2002, the same day as an LADX airport shooting where a male and a female died and orphaned a kid named Spencer.
Give me 1 second. And he just goes and he heads over to computers real quick and does a little typing, and you just hear a son of a bitch. He looks up. Yeah. I just did a little looking. His mother, Colleen. Do you want to know what her maiden name was?
I'm sure we already know.
Dalton.
And with his mother's maiden name being Dalton, modification of his name would be a lot simpler.
It would be. It would be.
Because he could have just adapted the information to say that his mother gave him her maiden name at birth.
He could have, and with both.
So once again,
yeah.
this is venge.
Okay, so he blames me for his parents' death. The question is, why and how? How would he even have the resources to figure that out?
I just gotta look over at him and go, you did say it was your fault. You want to elaborate on why that was?
Before I open this place, before he continues anything, because you're on his office, he hits a button. Spectre, you've seen this before. It goes into that lockdown mode.
Basically, for everyone else, it's a full metal box that we're being trapped in now.
Basically, yes, exactly. Faraday's cage.
What?
Before I opened this place, started this, I did a lot of computer hacking. A lot of computer hacking. And I went by the moniker the Black King, which is what that king reference was in the note. I thought I was doing good because I never directly hurt any businesses. what I did was I tried to help people who needed it. I would do exactly what someone did for Spencer, redo their paperwork, make it so that they didn't exist, or that different versions of them never existed. And one of the people I did that for was the same guy who shot up the airport in 2002. At that point, I realized that I needed to do something else. That my legacy at that point was only going to be one, could potentially only be one of death, destruction, because... Anyway, I started this as my way to atone for what I had done. But apparently, even if you try, there are still things you can't outrun.
TG's a poet and he didn't even know it.
Actually, I had that one written down.
Aha! He knew it!
And after he says that, he'll go over and click the button, and you'll be no longer in Faraday's cage.
I'm thinking the cone of silence from Get Smart.
Kind of, but just full-on room lockdown.
The cone of silence is funnier.
And based on what Anton said, I now need fan art of Lucha in the Cone of Shame.
Okay, I'm completely lost as to what just happened, but...
So you
We
have...
were put in a big box so no one could hear or record what was being said.
That part I got.
And now you're out of the box. You got the history of Thomas Casey, a.k.a. the Black King, and he explained basically what happened.
Okay.
So, do we think our two things are connected? The Jendine attack and the abduction?
I don't think it's a coincidence.
I don't think that's a good thing.
I think it's a worse thing because that means there's a good possibility that Spencer is manipulating Jendine and they don't even know it.
No, that's a really bad thing. I've seen things there.
Anton, when was the last time anyone has approached you about that suit?
This is the first time that you can remember.
Yeah. I think this is the first real attempt anyone's tried to remove my suit from the company.
Rather odd that it happens right when someone else has a desire to get in here. More like convenient.
Yeah, it was a convenient distraction.
Cover up. Thomas, we're gonna have to figure out where he is, because with those boys, there's a lot of danger.
We may have a way. I didn't think of it initially because I was obviously too concerned as to them being kidnapped, but when you guys got back here early this morning and explained to me the situation, I couldn't help my curiosity, so I got permission to take a blood sample from Connor. I haven't looked at it yet, but maybe there's something in there we can use to find them.
Can we expedite the process? I know blood work is always a fickle thing, but
Yeah, we can expedite
the
the
sooner
process.
we can get there, the better.
We can. We'll have to go down to the lab to do it, but we can expedite the process.
I just look over at Casey and I was like, this was Spencer's lab. Is it possible he booby-trapped it against us?
Oh, I'm not talking about his lab. I'm talking about mine. He hits another button, and Spectre has again seen this because this is where the container of nanotech was hidden. Basically, you get the whole, like, kind of like the Diagon Alley from Harry Potter, like the wall sort of disappearing like that. And you had just saw the initial storage location, but this whole thing, disappears or sort of sucks into itself to reveal a state-of-the-art, high-tech laboratory.
I just kind of like step in front of Lucha, so he's like not just like freaked out by it. So I kind of like block his view.
Someone get the otter some meds.
I pull out a bag of Swedish fish and hand it to him. There's his meds.
So Casey walks over to a machine, puts it in, does something, and you just hear the whirr, like the whirring of a machine. He goes, it's going to take about 15 minutes.
I walk over to Casey at that point, and I just look at him, and I'm like, that's why I didn't hide them.
What?
I just kind of put my arm around Lucha in like a friendly fashion and just like lead him over to the couch so he doesn't freak out.
Hide what, Spectre?
The Swedish fish.
Oh. He looks over and sees, he goes, fair.
It may be sugar rushes, but it's also for him.
I just kind of look down at Lucha and I'm not going to pet you.
As Lutra is nuzzling into Malkir. Malkir, go ahead and give me a will save. Okay, that is not enough. So you're actually going to get a flash. No. This is actually for Malkir. This is actually a good thing. I've been trying to have this start for the past 4 episodes now. As Lutra is sort of nuzzling up against you, you get a flashback to when you were super young. You're laying in something that you assume to be a crib or a bed of some sort. There are 2 people sort of looking down at you. You can't quite make out their faces, but next to you in the bed, in the crib you're cuddling with a soft, furry, stuffed animal.
An otter.
I'm gonna leave that up to your imagination, but you remember the animal. You don't remember the faces, but there are 2 figures sort of looking at you. And it just sort of, everything sort of feels calm, and that's the flashback that you get.
I just kind of like shake my head and kind of just like drop to like one knee and just like hold my head in my like on my knee type thing.
Victor goes over towards you and puts his hand around your shoulder and says, "You okay?"
I'm trying to think of that football pose that was like the big meme a while ago.
You were Tebowing!
There you go.
Lucha consoles you with concern.
I just kind of like shake my head at him for a second, just like give me a minute.
While all this is going on, you hear a beep, 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 basically indicating the blood test is done.
Alright. I guess that was expedited.
I still have a couple of tricks up my sleeve. And how well does Lutra understand the different English language, the things like that, the idioms?
Just fine. I mean, considering he was, brought up around English, I would assume he'd be fine.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we had one of those like NCIS Ziva kind of deals where he was
No.
very literal.
No.
Okay, I was only asking because he said he had tricks up his sleeve and he was wearing a short sleeve shirt.
Nice.
That's all I was asking for.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Okay, I got you. I might actually be very literal now that you said that.
I'll leave that up to you before I proceed on.
Lucha looks over and says, "You're not wearing any sleeves."
He just sort of looks at you, looks at Spectre, and just mouths the word fish to Spectre, and then goes over and starts reading the analysis.
So while they're all like now looking at me, I kind of just like back away from the room and I just kind of like walk away up the hallway to like the residential section.
All right. So as he's reading, he's not reading it out loud. He's sort of reading his. Expect. What the hell?
What the hell? What?
I didn't think. We can track him. I know how we can track them, but this is very concerning.
Is he reading the actual blood sample or a printout report?
He's reading a printout report.
Okay, Spectre just reaches over and just tears the printout right out from underneath. Right out from his hand.
This is actually a very sophisticated machine because it actually prints it out in layman's terms, and you get your typical blood type, cell count level, and then like 5 lines down you see the line is blood is oversaturated with nanotech.
Oh.
He was injected?
Apparently.
That'd explain why he's so damn strong for a 16-year-old.
12. This is Connor's blood. He's 12.
Oh. 12-year-old. Yeah, 12-year-old.
Yeah, but I mean, the one good thing is if, as far as I know, I'm the only one who is able to do nanotechnology. So if this is mine, which in theory it should be, I should be able to track it.
Wonderful, we can track it. The problem is that we also have to now deal with it.
Well, I'm going to assume that based on what we've seen already, and the explosion, and everything syncing together, that he found a way to weaponize the nanotech and use it to create metahumans. Which would explain why... I mean, it wouldn't explain why he has no memory of being the giant fish monster, but it would explain how he's able to transform into the giant fish monster. Because one of the things that the nanotech is supposed to, or can do for a medical thing, is it can attack cells, and it can, you know, it's mostly for trying to do cancer stuff, but it can definitely manipulate cells.
God, the Avengers would have so much an easier time with this.
We are not bringing that murderer into this.
About him. But doesn't that technology seem very similar to the mutation that Dr. Banner goes through? Do you think that may have had some motivation and inspiration behind how he weaponized the nanotech?
Potentially. If you give me a little while, I can pull some nanotech out of the remaining sample of blood and study it to see what's happened to it.
How much time do you need? We don't have a lot.
Well,
We don't.
how about I get the tracking system up first, and then while you guys are going to do that, I'll figure out what they've done.
Sounds like right now.
Alright. Alright, let me see what I can do here. That's a good roll for you guys. So he goes into the lab and he starts... I mean, he's moving at a pretty frenetic pace. He starts pulling things out. He basically... First thing he does is he pulls a walkie-talkie out. Takes the walkie-talkie, takes it apart, removes half the innards, goes and grabs a couple other things, puts some other things in the innards, draws a sample of the blood, puts a sample of blood on a thing. You see a machine that you're not entirely sure what the heck's going on with. It looks like he's plucking things out of the blood, but you can't tell what, because he doesn't look like he's plucking anything out. You can assume he's plucking out nanites. He's punching watching what he's doing, even if you understand technology, you have no idea what's actually happening. But if you are fascinated to watch, in about a half an hour, he pulls this together. And then he hands to Spectre basically a thing that looks like a handheld GPS.
This could be useful.
Which he literally MacGyvered from a bunch of spare parts and a walkie-talkie. That, in theory, is attuned to the specific frequency of the nanotech in Connor's blood. Unless they've gone across country, that should be able to attune to where he is.
If they're across country at this point, yeah, I don't think there's anything we can do at that point. I can
Let's
move
get
fast,
going.
but not that fast. and I sort of fool around with it, like smack it a few times, trying to figure out how to get the thing going and trying to figure out where it's going to lead us.
Well, you find the on switch, you turn on. Takes a little bit of tuning to get to, but you've all seen the typical like grid pattern, blinky dot. It's one of those things. But you definitely get a beep. It's pretty far out. Like the map is pretty far zoomed out for where your location is, and you do get a ping, and the ping is moving. And hold on one second. And with the insight check you rolled earlier, I'll also give you this. You know for a fact that ping is heading towards Stanford.
Medicate?
University.
Back to the university. You send back to the university he came from.
You know, I wonder how guy in a mech suit, an otter, and the two of you are going to look.
Turns into human form.
Well, that answers that question. So I take it we're making a trip to Stanford then.
Yeah. I quickly look over the GPS and see like how it's configured, determine if I can rig it to hook it up to the ship.
He already took care of that for you. It has interface capabilities.
Road trip.
Sky trip, but yeah, sure.
And don't forget your fish.
Carrying a box on me already.
Where
I don't need to though. Everyone else.
I don't
gets
want to
their
know where
bag
you're
of theirs.
holding that box.
I have pockets. I don't really have pockets.
Alright, so this feels like a very appropriate time to call it an episode, because coming up next, at the current time, which is 10:55 p.m. my time, we definitely do not have enough time to continue this before people have to go to bed at reasonable times. So that is going to be it for tonight's episode. Again, because we've sort of stopped in the middle, this is a two-part issue. So I will award PowerPoints at the end of next issue. But this was The Things You Can't Outrun, Part 1. And with that, for those of you who are watching this on Twitch over here, I believe on Randomania 2 is where we've got these going on. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed where we're going so far, and have a wonderful rest of your evening / day / whenever it is you're watching this. Have a good one, everybody.